Hello student. Today we are going to study the ecological factor and adaptation. So in that first we understood about the ecological factor and then adaptation. So the ecology is nothing but the study of the relationship between the organism and their environment is called as a ecology. The term ecology is coined from the Greek word called okios. Okios means home or the place where the organism is live. And second term is a logos. The logos means study. That means here the study of the plant as they exist in their home or in their habitat is called as a ecology. So actually the ecology is the science of relationship between the organism and their environment. The environment means surrounding which affect the growth and development of the individual plant or plant community. The plant ecology deals with the relationship between the plants and their environment. So this term ecology is first time proposed by writer in 1868 and the ecology term is coined by Haeckel in 1869. So this is the nothing but about the ecology. That means I think you understand what is mean by ecology. Simply the ecology is nothing but the study of interrelationship between the plants and their environment is called as a plant ecology. So in plant ecology there are different ecological factors. So you have know the environment, that is the surrounding, is made up of different living and non-living components, and such environment or such ecological factors shows different factors, and these factors are classified into, so first one, that is the edaphic factor. So first we have tell about the factors and then we have discussed one by one. So first one, that is edaphic, or it is also called as a soil factor. Second one is called as a climatic factor. So the climatic means the factor which control the climate of that particular area is a climatic factor. Next one is the biotic factor, that is different animal, plant, microorganism, they are included under biotic factor. And then last one, that is a topographic factor, that means it is nothing but the surface of the area. So here this is the ecological factor, and then we have discussed about the one by one. So first which is very important, that is a edaphic factor. So the edaphic factor is nothing but the soil factor, or we call it as a soil. So the soil means when we have studied the soil, then there is one branch called as a pedology. So the pedology is the branch of science, particularly agricultural science, which deals the soil. So this is called as a pedology. Then what is meant by soil? So the soil actually it is a derived from the Latin word solum, and this soil is nothing but withered surface of the earth crust which is mixed with organic matter in which microorganisms live and plant grow. So this is called as a soil. That means here withered surface of the earth crust. So the surface of the earth crust which is made up of the rock, so they are disintegrated and they are mixed in organic material, that is the plants and animal remnants as well as microorganism, and they are called as a soil, and this is the soil is the main medium for the growth of the plant as well as microorganism and animal. So this is about the we call it as a soil. So this soil is consist of different mineral matter, humus, soil water as well as soil air, soil flora, fauna. So that means here the soil is a mixture of geological and organic material, and this soil, that means the medium where the plants are grow, which is the medium of the growth of the microorganism, even the animals. So this soil, how this soil is formed, That means in next point we have discussed about the origin and formation of the soil. So the soil is formed by two ways. First one is called as a withering of rock and second is called as a pedogenesis. So here the withering of rock is takes place. You all know withering means disintegration of the rock. That means the rock is broken down into smaller particle is nothing but the withering of the rock. So this weathering of rock is takes place by physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. So this is include under weathering of the rock. That means here the soil is formed by two ways. That means the two steps are there. The first one is the weathering of rock and inside there is a physical, chemical and biological weathering. And next one that is the pedogenesis, that is actual formation or maturation of the soil or development of the soil. So first we discuss one by one, that is physical, chemical and biological. So in that the first one, that is the physical weathering. So in physical weathering there is this is the process of disintegration of the rock is mainly carried out by the temperature, water and that may be rainwater or flowing water as well as the glaciation. The fluctuation in temperature result in expansion of the rock and contraction of the rock. That means when the temperature is increased, then due to high temperature the rock will be disintegrate or the rock will be cracked, and when the temperature is becomes less, then the rock will be contract. So this is the due to this fluctuation in temperature the rock is expand and contract. So in that process there is a formation of the crack, and this crack is leads to the this rock is broken down into the particle. So due to crack separation and disintegration of the rock, there is a smaller particles are formed. So due to this rain, so the second one, that is the rain. So the rain is also responsible for disintegration of the rock. Due to high rainfall, when there is heavy rainfall, then the larger rock is broken down into smaller rock. That means the rain is also play important role as a physical weathering or physical agent of the weathering. Next one, that is the water current. So particularly in the tidal movement along the coastal side is also disintegrate or eroded the surface or called as a margin or a coastal region of the sea surface, and due to the water current there is also weathering of the rock is takes place. And next one, that is the glaciation. So the glaciation means the large snow falling is also eroded the large number of the rock. Due to this all this activity, that means here due to all this activity the soil particles are flow and they are deposited at one place. That means if you take the example of the wind, so particularly in the wind current, along with the wind current it cuts the rock surface. In particularly in the desert region, the strong blowing wind carries sand and silt particles to a long distance. In this way, that means in this way, the physical factor disintegrate the rock into the smaller particles. So I think you have got how the physical weathering is takes place and how the physical agent is participate in the weathering of the rock. That means you have to remember the temperature, rain, water current, glaciation. So all these physical agent, they are responsible for physical weathering. That means the large rock is disintegrate into the smaller rock or there will be erosion of the rock. Next one, that is a chemical weathering. So the chemical weathering is nothing but here it takes place by the carbonic acid. Different types of the organic acid due to the oxidation and reduction reaction and the rock is broken down. That means here there are certain oxidized agent, for example manganese, iron, aluminum. So due to this oxidation of this mineral present in the rock, there will be disintegration of the rock is takes place into the smaller particle, as well as the destruction of the limestone cemented rock is also occur in some places. There is one thing that is the microorganism. So particularly the lichen, some bacteria as well as the fungi which are grow on the rock, they secrete certain chemical, particularly the carbonic acid, humic acid, they are secreted by the organism, and due to this acid the rock is broken down into, or the surface of the rock is eroded due to this lichen and bacteria. So this process is called as a chelation process or chelation activity. That means here due to the microbial activity the chelation is takes place, and this chelation is leads into the erosion of the surface of the rock. So here this is the second point, that is in chemical weathering. So this is also the chemical reaction that causes changes in the mineral. That means due to the oxidation and reduction the color of the rock is also changed here. Then the next one, that is the biological weathering. So the biological weathering is nothing but there are different types of the plant, microorganism, different animal including human being also involved in biological weathering. The human cuts, so here you could take the example of the human being. So the human cuts the rock for construction work, and due to this work the large particle is broken down into the smaller particle, and this smaller particle is also responsible for formation of the soil. Here there is a two example. The large plant, that is particularly the tree plant, their root is penetrate deep into the soil, as well as it is also penetrate in the rock, and the large rock is also broken down into the particle. As well as that means there is a crevices of the in the rock is takes place. That means hard rock is also broken down into the stone and the small particle. The microorganism like lichen, fungi, mosses, they secrete the humic acid and carbonic acid, and due to this action of this acid the rock surface is also becomes eroded. So there are certain animal, particularly the rodent animal is also responsible, or it acts as a biological agent for weathering of the rock. Due to this acid, due to this organism, due to the plant, due to the human being, the large number of the rock, they are converted or they are broken down, disintegrate into the soil particle, and it helps in the formation of the rock. That means here in the particularly in the weathering of the rock, the biological weathering as well as the chemical weathering, as well as this is the chemical weathering, that is acidification, as well as the physical weathering, that is temperature, rain, water. So all these agents, they are helpful for the formation of the soil, and that means here this is the first step in the formation of the soil, that is a weathering of the rock. Then second point here we have to discuss here, we call it as a pedogenesis. So here the pedogenesis is nothing but the weathering of the material, weathering of the rock is formed the soil particle, and this soil particle is mixed into the organic matter, that is a remnants of the plant, the remnants of the animal, microorganism, that means algae, fungi, bryophyte, gymnosperm plant, pteridophytic plant, angiospermic plant. So their parts and their remnants, they are mixed into the soil. Not only plant, there are certain arthropods, molluscs, they are also involved in the formation of the soil. That means all this organic matter, particularly the humus, they are mixed into the soil particle, and then it form the layer of the soil, different layers of the soil, and this is called as a horizon of the soil. That means horizon of the soil is formed, and this process is called as a pedogenesis, or it is called as a soil maturation. That means here I think we have understood what is meant by formation of the soil here. That means here the soil is formed by two processes. One is a weathering of rock and another is a pedogenesis. The pedogenesis means actually the formation of the soil. That means soil particles are mixed in the organic matter, that is plant and animal remnants, and then it forms the soil. So here this is about the origin and formation of the soil. I think you have got what is mean by soil and what is mean by ecology and how the soil is formed. And this formed soil is they have different constituent, and the next point in next video we discuss about the composition of the soil.